Hello, vinyl community. This is Randy. Back today with another video. Today is Wednesday, October the 18th. Just show you some records I picked up in the first part of October 2023. First record I have to show you is a Blue Note record. Karpeh is the name of the record. The artist is Cautious Clay. Cautious Clay is a singer and a saxophonist. This is his first album. It's not only his first album on Blue Note, it's his first album entirely. Well, he had one listed on Discogs that was like self-produced. So, but evidently he's been making music for a little while, for a few years. So he's worked with quite a few other people. I read a little bit about him online. This is the first album that's actually credited to him as really strong. This is an amazingly strong first album. I don't know if he considers himself to be mainly a singer or a saxophonist. The music is sort of jazz oriented. It leans more towards, funk or soul. I would call it very mainstream. It seems like this should be really just easily radio friendly type music. He has a fantastic voice. It seems that I'm saying a falsetto type voice. Kind of reminds me of the guy from Earth, Wind and Fire. So, the name of the album, Karpeh, his real name, I guess, is Joshua Karpeh. And I guess Cautious Clay is the name that he came up with, which is a fantastic name, I think, to come up with. And this is, like I say, it's on Blue Note Records. It's on this cool, it seems like they call this Coke bottle clear, but it's not really clear, is it? It's kind of milky looking, but cool looking green vinyl. And it also came with an insert. So there's a picture of Joshua. On the other side are the liner notes and the words to the song. So most of the songs have words. There's a little bit of spoken word at the beginning where there's some recorded stuff. It sounds like it's probably his grandfather that is talking. And there's also some other stuff where his aunt is telling, some, I guess, sort of like stories about her father, his grandfather. So yeah, that part comes. It's not too long. It's very short. It works out very well as part of the song. So that part is like, for instance, there's walls and a roof, and then unfinished house. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. So there's also some guest artists on here. You can see on the back of the liner notes here that lists for some of the songs. It lists Julian Lage playing guitar. So he's on over half of the songs. He's only listed, it says featuring Julian Lage in about 3 or 4 here, but he's actually on over half of the songs, and he wrote, I think about 4 or 5 of the songs along with Cautious. So he really makes a big difference on the record. He really sounds great. I don't know if Cautious, if he planned, it's basically almost like they're working together for the whole record, except for just a couple songs that Julian lays out on. And I'm not sure if they plan it that way, or did they start working on 1 or 2 songs together and they were like, wow, this is a fantastic partnership. But yeah, it really does work out well. There's a really good song on here called Blue Lips, which is mostly Julian's guitar work before another guy comes in on alto sax, and then Cautious plays tenor sax on that song. So yeah, that is really fantastic. So in addition to Julian Lage, there's also a song on here, Yesterday's Pride, that features Ambrose Akinmusire, trumpet player Ambrose Akinmusire. That's a fantastic song also. And then also Joel Ross, vibraphonist Joel Ross, makes an appearance on this album. The very last, I'm not sure what this means by bonus track. I guess it means maybe if there was do they still make CDs? Or anyway, it says there's a bonus track is Ding is King, but I guess so the last album is called Moments Stolen. That's a really cool song. It has words. I was wondering, it is not the same song as Stolen Moments that is on this album. It's a completely different thing. So yeah, Cautious Clay, Karpeh, fantastic record. I got another record from Blue Note. This one's from Joshua Redman. Where Are We is the name of this record. This is an insert that came with it, and I guess I was one of, well, I don't know if I had to be the first one. Anyway, I ordered it online and got this signed insert, so not sure what I'll do with that, but it's very cool to have it. I probably actually will put this inside a plastic sleeve and then just put this, you know, right on top of it so it will look like it's basically the album cover. So here's what it actually looks like. Where Are We? Featuring Gabriel Cavassa. Here's some pictures of the band, and Gabrielle is right here. I guess she came, you know, she came to work, and so she's got like a hat on and like camouflage pants or something. So there's not a very good picture of her anywhere, but she's an outstanding singer, and I guess I read the story online that Joshua was talking about how he'd been planning to make a record, and his manager called, I guess maybe he lives in California, his manager called him from New Orleans and said he'd heard this wonderful singer named Gabriel Cavassa, and he thought they would work wonderfully well together, so they did get together. I guess they do work really well together. They sound fantastic together. It's really, really fantastic. I really like the way they work together. She sings on most of the songs, and I like the way that his saxophone follows along behind her. So she sings a line, and then he plays a line on the saxophone to, you know, sort of accentuate what she's done. So it's definitely jazz, mainstream jazz, and jazz vocals. She has a beautiful voice. There's also a theme to this album, which is like traveling or just various parts of the United States. So the first song is After Minneapolis. So yeah, it's sort of mournful sounding here. Actually, what he really starts out with is just Joshua playing solo on saxophone, This Land Is Your Land, in a very mournful, very mournful pace. So I think, you know, that calling it actually After Minneapolis is well, I guess it's very much a political statement. Streets of Philadelphia, Bruce Springsteen's Streets of Philadelphia is next, and Gabrielle sings that one. And Chicago Blues, I think that is an original that they wrote for this record. Baltimore, they do after that. Then By the Time I Get to Phoenix, really cool version of By the Time I Get to Phoenix, really slow. She has fantastic, she has fantastic voice, does a really good version of that. Then Side City starts with Do You Know What It Means to Miss New Orleans? Yeah, so cool song there. Then Manhattan, fantastic song, I think, by Rodgers and Hart. Then My Heart in San Francisco, Holiday. I think that's just I Left My Heart in San Francisco with a little bit of an introduction about how she's sort of missing San Francisco while she's in Manhattan and maybe in Europe or something. So Side D is where it gets to be really intense. It starts out with the Alabama intro, which is Coltrane's Alabama. Very short few seconds there. Then Star Style in Alabama, which Gabrielle sings a beautiful version of that song, old jazz standard. But then they do a real version of Alabama, instrumental Alabama, Coltrane's Alabama. And that's the one song in here where Joshua really cuts loose, and some hard, well, you can call it hard bop on there because it's Alabama, but it's a very intense, I guess he's channeling John Coltrane, really. It sounds very Coltrane-esque on that song, so really good. Then the very last song that they do is Where Are You? So it's sort of a cool way to close out the album with Gabrielle singing Where Are You? The name of the album is Where Are We? So she does a really good version of the song that was made famous by Frankie. And that is on, also, I think they also called this Coke bottle clear, but this one really is clear. So yeah, Blue Note. I got this 30th anniversary edition of Dookie. I've never had Dookie before. I never really listened to Green Day before this year. And I picked up 4 of their records this year. And this was their big hit from 1994. Yeah, so Power Punk is what this is. It had like 3 or 4 hit songs on it. Basket Case, I think. Was that one? Maybe your Longview, possibly. I'm really not sure what the hits were on here. Like I say, for some reason I wasn't listening to them back then. Came with this very cool insert though. I assume this is what came with the record when it originally came out. I assume it's all a replica of what came out then. So very cool that it has the words there with a little bit of cartoons and stuff on the other side. I want to tell you, I saw just yesterday the Vinyl Potato did a fantastic unboxing of Dookie 30th anniversary box. So highly recommend that video to you. Vinyl Potato will. So yeah, Green Day. That is on this blue vinyl. So I guess the vinyl is supposed to sort of match the sky in the album cover. Yeah, very cool looking labels there. Oh, I was just gonna say, I'd never really noticed before. I guess I know really this album, but there's like some other rock stars on this album cover. Green Day's not. I don't think Green Day's actually on the cover here. Anyway, the guys in Green Day, but Ozzy Osbourne is here, asking what is this that stands before me. Elvis is down here, right down here. Here's Patti Smith in an apartment or something, and then there's Angus Young up there on the roof jamming. But very cool. Maybe those were all, influences for Green Day or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know about that, but anyway, it's a very cool album cover. Devendra Banhart has a new album out. It's called Flying Wig. This is unlike the ambient record that he put out a couple of years ago. That was an ambient album. It was a very cool record. I ended up liking it a lot. I was very surprised by it. But this goes back to more of his, I think it's considered to be like acoustic, psych, folk type music with maybe just a little bit of a Latin tinge, but really not on this one at all. This is very straightforward. I'd call it adult contemporary music, sort of downbeat, not, yeah, definitely not party music for sure. Side 2 and side 1. This, I'm not sure what they call this color of blue, but it goes along with the album jacket there. And then it is very cool that it comes with the inner sleeve here has the lyrics and credits on the other side. Devendra is known, really, I think, as much for his visual art as he is for his music. I read a little bit about him. He was, I think it said that he was born in Texas to a Venezuelan and an American father. Then he moved to Venezuela for a few years. Then he moved back to the United States at some point there. So I've heard him talk. I saw a YouTube video. I mean, he speaks English without any accent at all. And he also is a very good skater. I saw a clip on YouTube of him on a skateboard. Wow, he's really good. So that was very cool to see. But I just mentioned the part about, so it came with this poster, which, like I say, he's known as a visual artist, so I assume that he is the person who designed that poster. It has sort of this carrying along, I think, that same theme as the cover. So, yeah, Devendra Banhart, very cool. Animal Collective has released another new album. I think they released one album this year, and then I think Avi Tears released one, or maybe Avi and Panda Bear both released one, and this is the first. I can't remember really, but I know they released a lot of records. They got another one here. This is another 2-record set. This one is called Isn't It Now? Isn't It Now? Very cool. Gatefold sleeve, as always. They have fantastic artwork on their covers. Front and back, inside and out. This record, I think, is the first one to feature an outside producer. It's the it said that all 4 of the members of Animal Collective were there in the studio at the same time, and then there is a producer named Russell Elevato. Yeah, Russell Elevato, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell if that's a Y or the. But anyway, he produced it. I think that's unusual for them to have anybody besides themselves producing. It's a really cool record. There's the first record I really liked a lot. It's just so cool how they construct their songs and just all these different vocal parts on them. I never know what the names of the songs are though, because they don't necessarily say them on there. But there's this one on here that's just basically all them doing vocal parts, and one of them does a vocal part, another one echoes it, then the third guy comes in with just some background parts, and finally the fourth guy just adds some more background vocals. It's all just really cool, but the whole album is kind of like that. There's the drums that are pretty constant, but other than that, the songs just seem like they're constructed bit by bit with different types of, I think, synthesizer and keyboard sounds, and I assume there's also some guitars and stuff on here, but it's all just so well mixed and produced. It's kind of hard to hear what you're saying, but it's really all interesting. Like I said, the first record was excellent. The second record starts out with a 21-minute long song called Defeat, which that actually features the lyrics, isn't it now? That song is just really real slow and repetitive, and well, it's a bunch of different parts of it, so I got to listen to that one some more. Yeah, the first two sides I thought were really excellent. I got this compilation album called Sad About the Times. This was a 2019 compilation album, which I don't know if they've just recently repressed it, or maybe somebody just found them in their warehouses. I don't know where it came from, but it's compiled by an Australian guy. An Australian named Mikey Young. There really is no information about it. It's a 2-record set. There's about 20 or 25 artists here. I've never heard of any of them. And the music is all like early 70s, sort of acoustic folk rock. I would compare it to something like maybe Crosby, Stills and Nash, or the music of Orleans, or even Hall & Oates, stuff like that. That's from the early 70s. It was played on the radio. It's well produced. And just really cool songs. This is just a fantastic album. I've just really been playing this record a lot. It's one of my favorite records of the year. I've gotten a lot of really good compilations this year. Here's this letter that I guess it's like a sample letter that he wrote to, one of the people that one of the artists who decided they didn't want to be part of the compilation. I guess he says he understands that maybe they wouldn't have fit on here, but he still loves their album. All the songs on here really do seem to fit together very well. There's one towards the end called Wolf by Antonia Lamb. It's really quite different, very folky sounding, but for the most part they're kind of folk sounding, but like I said, it's more like a Crosby, Stills and Nash or something, with some electric instrumentation, and just very good songs overall. And there was one artist I'd heard of on here, Norma Tanega. She has a song called Illusion. And she has a song called Walking My Cat Named Dog. So that's the only reason I'd heard of her before. But other than that, these artists are all completely unknown to me. But every song, I just feel like every song, should have been a hit or could have been a hit. I mean, they're all just really quite excellent. I really like all the artwork that comes with it too. There's just the only thing that's sort of a drawback to me is there is no information about the artist or even the guy who compiled it or anything. It's just, here you go, here's this. But it all sounds really good, and all 4 of the labels look like that, and both of the records are this pink vinyl. So that is it. Those are the records that I picked up in the first part of October 2023. Let me know what you think about these records. I'd always be interested to know. The background music is this is Album Leaf. The Album Leaf in a Safe Place. I think I saw Mike. T-Cat was showing some an Album Leaf record recently, and so it sort of made me want to hear this one. So it's a really good record. Sub Pop for the Album Leaf. So that's it. I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for watching.